Native Hawaiian practitioners and marine biologists are no strangers aboard the voyaging canoe Hokulea, but add a world-famous cellist during whale season and what do you get? A truly remarkable performance. And here to help explain, UH Marine Mammal Research Program Director Lars Beider.
Hello.
Welcome. And joining us by Zoom, faculty researcher Ode Pacini. Welcome,
Hi.
Ode. Now tell us, who was this special musical guest and why was he asked aboard the Hokulea, Lars?
Sure. Yeah, we were very fortunate to accompany Yo-Yo Ma on board the Hokulea for an incredible experience. I think it came out of mutual interest in joining science and arts to raise awareness about the plight of the oceans, really.
And of course, he's probably the most world-famous cellist there is. Let's take a listen to this once-in-a-lifetime performance. Okay, now let's have the editors zoom in on a replay here. Watch, just as Yo-Yo Ma begins to play, a whale surfaces in the distance. Amazing. Ode, whales can hear for miles. They must have heard this cello. Is that a reaction to it?
That's a great question. Humpback whale sound can certainly travel really far and over several miles. During Yo-Yo Ma's performance, I'm not too sure that cello sound travel far enough to reach the whale. In fact, when we recorded his performance underwater, the sounds were pretty faint underwater, even right next to Hokulea.
So we may never know whether that creature heard that sound, but from what you do know about whales, what is the potential for human-generated sound to cause an interaction with whales, for better or worse?
Sure. I mean, Yo-Yo Ma did play some whale sounds on the cello that mimicked some very famous recordings from the 1960s. And those sounds that Yo-Yo Ma played sounded very, very similar to the sounds that the whales actually produce in real life, right? Now, whether or not they hear those or not, we don't know.
Sure. And Ode, maybe you can weigh in a little here too. There is sort of a flip side to sound. Sound can be dangerous to whales, right? Or in their commutes and in our human commutes with ships and such. What do you want people to be aware of about the downside?
Well, sound, underwater sound generated by human activities from shipping lanes, boat engine, military activities, oil and gas activities can certainly be harmful to some species. And we want to be mindful, along with climate change, pollution, fisheries interactions. Those are very important concerns we have when it comes to the conservation of these species.
Thank you. Now, all of this with Yo-Yo Ma aboard happened in collaboration with Native Hawaiian practitioners and, of course, the Polynesian Voyaging Society. What is the significance of this event, Lars?
Yeah, it was extremely special. We all have different roles in society. We can certainly learn a lot from Yo-Yo Ma and what he produces, his culture and his music. And the native practitioners have been here for hundreds and thousands of years, so we can learn a lot from what they know about the ocean. Us as scientists, we bring a different picture and perspective to this, so combining all of our knowledge together really helps us understand the ocean. And one thing that I think is particularly exciting about this collaboration is that we reach more people too. We all have different groups that are interested in what we do, and the more we work together, the further we can get the word out about helping the ocean and protecting the resources that are in the ocean as well.
Well, sure, and certainly having someone of Yo-Yo Ma's fame helps to spread attention to that word. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll send it back to you.